No smartphone brand has entered the Indian market like Poco did, and large part of that success goes to the Poco F1. Since that smartphone was launched, almost every smartphone enthusiast has been asking for a successor, and we finally have another F series smartphone. No, Poco did not launch the Poco F2, but what we have here is the Poco F3 GT. Now this is the phone which comes with a 120Hz AMOLED display, a glass rear back, 64 megapixel camera, and also maglev triggers for gaming. Now all of this I have already mentioned in our unboxing video. So if you want to know the specifications, you can watch that video on Indirated Tech YouTube channel. What I'll also do is I'll put the link of that video somewhere here so you can click it and watch the video from there as well. But in this video, what we're gonna do is we'll review this phone, and I'll keep the review largely focused to my experience with the Poco F3 GT because I've been using it for almost about 15 days. You're watching Indirated Tech. I am Manas Tiwari. The Poco F3 GT is priced at Rs 26,999 and it slightly undercuts the OnePlus Nord 2, which is probably its biggest competitor. Now before we do the review, let me remind you that if you are new to the channel, please subscribe to Indirated Tech so that you get all the updates whenever we upload these cool videos. Now let's get started with the review. I said this while unboxing the Poco F3 GT and I'm gonna say it again. This is probably the most premium looking smartphone from Poco. It has a glass back with matte finish which gives it a really good in-hand feel. The gunmetal silver color variant I got for review is an absolute stunner, looks gorgeous and gets a refreshing look because of the little elements used by Poco. At least this color variant does not get any fingerprint smudges, which makes life a lot easier. Now while I may seem impressed by the Poco F3 GT, I also have some reservations, and the first one is that just like the Asus ROG series, this phone might only appeal to the gaming enthusiast. The other thing to consider is that the Poco F3 GT is 8.3 mm thick and weighs around 205 grams. The thickness still at par with most modern smartphones, but the weight makes it a little bulky. An annoying part is that there is no 3.5 mm headphone jack despite that. So you do get a 3.5 mm to Type-C USB adapter inside the box. The smartphone uses a side-mounted fingerprint scanner which can be inconsistent at times, and that's again something that could have been different because Poco for the very first time has used an AMOLED display on any of its smartphones, and that left the room for an in-display fingerprint scanner as well. But again, the company went for the cost-cutting exercise and went ahead with the side-mounted fingerprint sensor, which we have been using with most Xiaomi and Poco smartphones lately. Now coming to the most interesting design element and the one which impressed me the most is the Poco F3 GT features two maglev triggers for gaming. These come with magnetic lock and pop up when you unlock them. Poco has actually used physical triggers on the phone, which means you can actually press them, and I kind of like the feel while gaming. The shoulder triggers have good tactility and very good response. While playing Call of Duty Mobile, I mapped the right shoulder button to shooting and the left one for reload. And the good thing is that you don't have to press it every time for shooting. You can just tap it once and hold there, and the fire rate is absolutely amazing. In fact, it's so good that it kind of gives you an unfair advantage over the opponents. One trick which Poco probably missed is that you can only map these triggers while gaming, not for any other app or shortcuts. Just imagine how cool it would have been if you could just press one of these triggers and take a screenshot. But that hasn't happened. The high refresh rate AMOLED displays are becoming increasingly popular in the mid-range category, and one can only blame Xiaomi for using them on the Note 10 series earlier this year. Now Poco has also entered the game, and the Poco F3 GT comes with a 6.67 inch Full HD Plus AMOLED display with 120Hz refresh rate and 480Hz touch sampling rate. On top of it, Poco has also used a 10-bit panel here, so you get definitely better colors. There is not much I found wrong with the panel. It gets really bright for normal usage, has good viewing angles, and is plenty smooth. The tall and bright display is aided by equally good stereo speakers. The speakers on POCO F3 GT are genuinely loud and clear. It should excite gamers as well as users who stream content on their phones. The smartphone also comes with always on display, and just like Xiaomi or Redmi smartphones, POCO is also giving its users different clock styles to choose from. If I have to point out a couple of things, one is that the display could have been brighter in outdoor settings, and the second is that there's a very tiny hole punch cutout on top to house the selfie camera, but it has a very thick black ring around it, which could be slightly distracting, especially when you are streaming content. The POCO F3 GT comes with a triple rear camera setup at the back, and this includes a main 64 megapixel camera, a 8 megapixel ultra wide angle camera, and a 2 megapixel macro sensor. On the front you get a 16 megapixel selfie shooter. Within the camera app there are plenty of options like photo, video, dual video mode and clone mode, among others. The main camera seems to do a fine job with close-up shots. The images come out sharp and have ample amount of details. The colors on the Captain America figurine have come out sharp, and the text is also clearly readable. It does have a tendency to darken the shadows and oversaturate the colors at times, which is clearly visible on the wide shots. The handling of skin tones is also poor, as you can see in the image samples. My face has been over sharpened to the point where it does not look nice anymore. The issues can be blamed on phone's poor image processing more than anything else, and might be fixed with a future software update. The POCO F3 GT's ultra-wide angle sensor also makes the same mistake. Most images taken by the wide angle lens seem darker than the original landscape. The images do retain a lot of details even in the wide shots though. The portrait shots have good edge detection, and the macro lens also does a decent job. The low light images came out well whenever there was an external light source around. Otherwise, there is a general lack of details even while using the night mode. The front camera is inconsistent too. The selfies can be pleasant or harsh depending on the light conditions. Still, most selfies in the daylight are passable. At the end of the day, the POCO F3 GT is a gaming smartphone, and that's something it has to be good at. On paper, what you're getting here is MediaTek Dimensity 1200 SoC with either 8GB or 6GB of RAM. This is the same chipset that has been used on other mid-premium smartphones like Oppo Reno 6 Pro 5G and the Realme X7 Max 5G. Even OnePlus has used MediaTek Dimensity 1200 SoC on the OnePlus Nord 2, but it customized the processor for a better output. And there's a reason why almost all these brands are using the same chipset. It handles most tasks seamlessly, is good for everyday use, and you don't feel any lags. But it also has a few limitations. The POCO F3 GT restricts the graphic preset to HDR in Battlegrounds Mobile India. Even then, you can run the game at ultra frame rate only. The more affordable POCO X3 Pro allows you to run the game with extreme frame rate preset. The phone also stopped me from running Call of Duty Mobile at the highest graphic and frame rate at the same time. We have done a thorough gaming test of the POCO F3 GT, and what I'll do is I'll put the link of that video somewhere here. So if gaming performance is something you are worried about, you can watch that video and understand it better. Apart from the limitations, you do get a satisfactory and consistent performance on the POCO F3 GT. There are hardly any drops in frame rates, and even the graphics are pleasing. The smartphone is backed by a 5065 mAh battery which easily lasts for a day. In fact, I really like the battery optimization as well. The battery was drained by just 8% after 40 minutes of gaming. This is when the phone was running at 120Hz refresh rate. POCO is also shipping the phone with a 67-watt fast charger which charges the phone from 0 to 100% in less than an hour. The POCO F3 GT is not just an ordinary phone, it's probably the POCO F2 you deserve. The company has tried to do something different by packing some powerful hardware at a very aggressive price of 26,999. You get a slick looking smartphone which has a very good in-hand feel, great battery life, and a one of its kind maglev triggers. The problem or the challenge for the POCO F3 GT is that things are not the same as when the POCO F1 was launched. Now you have more competition than ever in the mid-premium category. We have a lot of other brands trying to capture this market, leading by OnePlus with its OnePlus Nord 2. So users get more options than before, and that's something the POCO F3 GT will have to fight off. Now coming to the three things that we absolutely liked about this phone. First has to be its premium design, second is the consistent performance, and third is the excellent battery life. Three things which I did not like about this phone. The first is it does not have an in-display fingerprint sensor. Second is there is no 3.5mm headphone jack, and third is that the camera performance should have been definitely better. The Indie rating for the POCO F3 GT is 8 out of 10. Now, if you like this review, you know what to do. Please subscribe to Indie Tech YouTube channel. Also tap on the bell icon so that you don't miss out on any updates from our site. Thank you for watching.